and welcome to Spotlight on Bensenville. My name is Annie Jaworska, Village Trustee, and your host for today's episode. Today we will be discussing a new business to Bensenville, Atkinson Collection Gallery at 115 East Green Street. I am here with Joshua T. Atkinson. He is the owner of Atkinson Collection Gallery. Welcome.
Hi, thank you. Thank you for having me. It's exciting to be here.
So, Joshua, tell me a little bit about yourself.
I am originally from Indiana. I went to school. I was a voice and dance major there in Butler, in Indianapolis. And while I was at school, I took a trip down to Brazil to choreograph and perform and all that kind of stuff. Okay. And I happened to walk by some paintings while I was, touring the area, and something happened. I fell in love, and I had to have them. And I ended up buying 3 paintings that trip. And okay. I was, 15 years old, and had no idea why I had to have them. Your parents send you down there with, some money to spend on, stupid stuff to bring back, and that's what I wanted. Yeah. And I brought those back, and they've been with me ever since.
What about the paintings that caught your eye? And
Now that I'm older, I kind of realized what they did to me. It was my first time out of the country, first time on a plane, first time away from my parents, and my family, every man in my family, we sail, racing boats, and these paintings all had sailboats in them. And I think, now that I think back on it, it was something that I was missing home, but wasn't quite aware that I was missing home. But these paintings did something, or brought something out of me where it reminded me of home, and that's what I wanted to have.
They related to you.
Yes, I find that the more I think about it, I find it fascinating what art can do to somebody, and touch them on a completely different level that we don't think about every day.
Right. So was that the first time that art spoke to you in this way?
Absolutely. I was never, an art student. I don't have that patience that many artists have, that they can sit there in a room for hours on end and try to paint this beautiful masterpiece. I want quick results, throw some paint on something and be done with it. So that was not something that ever really interested me. My art background was all in the performance. But that trip there, I've been buying art ever since. It's something that, it's just like a beautiful song that can make you cry, or, a book that, somebody gets trapped in. The arts really have a way of speaking beyond words.
Right. So tell me a little bit more about why did you choose to come to Bensenville to be a business owner?
I opened up in 2014 in Elmhurst. And a tiny little place, and I quickly realized I needed a lot more space. It was either go big or go home type of situation. I was looking around, and I was familiar with Bensenville up here, and the old schoolhouse became available, and I instantly fell in love. My dad was a career bricklayer. He practically built our house, and I love brick. I love the old buildings, the history with it. Right. Part of the reason sticking to the suburbs, I call them train stop towns. I love it. It's that the history in them. You can walk through them. The Christmas time, the lights are, trees are all lit up and things like that. And it gives you that small town, that comfortable, like your mother's cooking type of feeling. In Bensenville is, we haven't seen them tear down everything to build these new, condos and apartments and all that kind of stuff. You still see a lot of the old charm.
Right.
And Bensenville, the community is very active. I remember my first Wednesday night last summer here in town, and I could hear the crowd from the music in the park. And I was ear to ear smiles, because it's like, wow, what a fantastic community.
Right.
So that's why I'm here.
So thank you for being here, because I think your business is very unique, and I appreciate art. I'm sure many people do too. And it's so nice that you decided to come here. So we're very happy that you're here. Can you tell us a little bit more about what type of art does your gallery focus on?
We deal only in original artwork.
Okay.
All of my artists actually sign a contract saying that they can never reproduce the work if we sell it, or as long as we have it. Meaning, once you buy a piece from us, you're the only one in the world who's ever going to have it. And I think that is the most
That's pretty
beautiful
cool.
thing.
Yeah.
All of my artists, except for one, are living. And that's something that, a lot of galleries, they focus on, the old masters and bringing in prints and things like that because it's popular. Everybody knows what, the Picasso style is or the Chagall styles are. I want to invest in people who are currently trying to pay their bills, who are trying to make it. These are our future masters. And there's so many stories I hear from it's all around the world. This isn't first I thought it was just local artists who were telling me this, but I found out from all over the world. It's usually with women. I find or I've heard the story that they loved art. It was their passion as a child and growing up, and then they went to school and they found a man, they got married, they had kids, and they stopped. They chose to put their art on pause to raise their family. And once their kids were grown and out of the house and living their own lives, they go back to it. I'm sad by that. Why should anybody lose 30, 20 years of their passion, their artistic life for that? So I really want a place that these people can feel like there's a company out here investing in them to keep them motivated. With our young artists, our students, it's something I really strive to get them in a gallery situation before they go off to college. I went to school with a lot of talented people, and I can probably count on one hand how many people still perform or paint or sculpt. It's very few. If our children are exposed to this gallery situation, whether they have a piece in there before they get into college where they realize, I have to pay bills, so I'm going to go study accounting, I'm going to change my major to interior design or whatever it may be, if they're in a gallery situation already, then they're more apt to stick with it for a little bit longer. Maybe spend 1 week in a month because they need to paint something because they need to send it back to a gallery.
And I like that. I like your way of thinking about that, trying to draw people back into art if they kind of, lost that due to having to do other responsibilities or priorities. So I think
it's the original aspect of it is crucial. I can walk into many people's homes and some beautiful homes, and the first thing they want to do is show me their artwork. And they show me a giant IKEA print that they bought down there. And it's there's nothing wrong with that, but anybody can put something on a copy machine, is what I say. Let's transfer, let's trade it out for an original piece that has some history and meaning behind it, that somebody cried in front of, and all that kind of stuff. So the original aspect is where we go. We don't allow any prints or anything like that.
All original work, all very
one of a kind.
We
handpick everything. I mean, we represent artists from about 15 different countries right now, about 50 artists, and they apply with their pieces, and we handpick everything. We research our artists and all that kind of stuff. And really, I'm looking for something I haven't seen before. And it's funny, I get excited. When there's you've been to the gallery, there's some sculptures in there that I've never seen this kind of technique before, and there's some amazing things. And it's not just overseas, it's our neighbors. There are some gifted people right here down the street that we would never know about it because they've never just had that opportunity to show the world what they can do.
Thank you, Joshua, and we're going to take a quick break right after this short commercial. Thank you.
The Water's Edge Aquatic Center is conveniently located in the Redmond Recreational Complex in Bensenville. The Water's Edge is home of Fenton High School and Wahoo swim teams, featuring an indoor 8-lane lap pool and diving well. The Aquatic Center is available for private functions and parties. Learn to swim, stay in shape, or enjoy recreational swimming year-round at the Water's Edge Aquatic Center.
The Bensenville Community Library, serving a community of readers. Whether you're old or young, a lover of words, music, or computers, the library has something for you. Check out our new Kindles, toddler jams, story and movie nights, or a variety of other activities offered. For more information, call us at 630-766-4642 or check out our schedule on the web at benlib.org. The Bensenville Community Library, celebrating 50 years of library service.
And welcome back to Spotlight on Bensenville. My name is Annie Jaworska, Village Trustee and your host for this episode. Today we are discussing a new business to Bensenville, Atkinson Collection Gallery at 115 East Green Street, and I am here with Joshua Atkinson. He is the owner of Atkinson Collection Gallery.
Hi.
Hi. So, Joshua, tell me a little bit more about the youth programs that you offer at your gallery.
We started this last summer. We do a youth art program. It's throughout the summer, either 4, 8, or 12 weeks long, and it's an opportunity for us to fill that place up with kids, so that they get the experience of being around artwork, professional artwork from all over the world, and what we do, we take a different approach. It's with all of the art camps or the youth art classes, it's not a monkey see, monkey do kind of situation. What I found was kids or people instinctively know, what they want. For an art teacher to go in there and say, this has to be this way, I think it hurts us. It hurts the art community. I've had a lot of artists come to me with portfolios, and I'll flip through it, and I remember this one, it was right after I opened. A young man came in, and I was flipping through his portfolio. It was a wonderful portfolio, and I loved his work, and then I got to a page, and I didn't love his work anymore. And I asked him, I said, what happened right here in your life? And he goes, that's when I went to art school. And he started laughing, and he confessed that his family said the exact same thing to him. It was like he had lost all that had made him unique once he went to school. I'm not saying anything bad about art school,
Sure.
but something happened there. It was he was trying to copy somebody else. He was trying to do what the professor said. Art is not math. Art is not science or even cooking to where you have to do certain things this way. So when we teach our youth programs, it's we picked a theme last year, and all the kids, they dabbled in watercolor, oil, and acrylics, and created a piece based on one common theme, and it was Welcome to the Circus last year. And so it brought in all this color. And when you think about the circus, what do you think about as a kid? And some of the pieces that came out were fantastic for these guys. But it was an instructor saying, follow along, let's color in the boxes. It was, what do you want to paint? And I stopped into the class one day, and there was a young man, probably about 9 years old, and his clouds looked like The Simpsons, the
Yes.
bright blue with the white, 3 puffy clouds. And, he looked like he was struggling. I asked him, what's going on? He's like, they don't look right. Okay. So I said, can I show you something? And he said, yeah. And so I blended it. I helped him blend out the clouds so it looked more realistic as when we, look up in the sky. And his face lit up. He goes, oh my gosh, that's exactly what I was trying to do. Okay, now you try it.
Yeah.
And he didn't have to do it the way I wanted him to do it.
But it was a different
he
technique.
needed to see another way.
Yeah.
It wasn't changing what he wanted to have on his canvas. It
Right.
was giving him the tools to do
Right.
it.
The tools to expand like
Exactly.
his skills.
And
Yeah.
when we teach like that, I find that they have a stronger interest in it. It doesn't feel like somebody's dictating what they have to do and what they can't do, or that they feel wrong. When we took Johan Wallström, is a Swedish artist, we took him over to the Parks Department last weekend. He was in town and spoke to a number of kids over there.
And that's one artist that you had an exhibition for at your gallery recently.
Yeah, he came in for the weekend, and we put up a immigration series. It's called Aliens with Extraordinary Abilities. And the last Friday we took him over to the Parks Department, share, with the kids. I think that's an important thing. And we asked a question of, how many of you guys have painted a dog? And everybody raised their hand. Okay. How many of your dogs were black or brown? 70% of them raised their hand. And I said, how many of them were pink? And one girl, slowly raised her hand because she was embarrassed about it. She was afraid that she was going to be told she was wrong for painting a pink dog. And he immediately latched onto her, and that is a wonderful thing, because you wanted it to be a pink dog, and it was the most beautiful pink dog ever. There was no right or wrong answer there. And I think sharing that with our kids, because everything that we do in life, it's either right or it's wrong. It's right or it's wrong. The arts is something where we can just free ourselves
Right,
from
and
all
just
of that.
express who you are, and there's no right or wrong answer, like you said,
Exactly.
when you're doing art.
It's showing, maybe you're sad that day, so you want to paint a dark sky. Okay, that's all right. That's what makes it beautiful, and that's
Right.
what's going to speak to other people. When you try to do it just how you've seen it before in the past, or how somebody's telling you to, there's no emotion on that canvas. But that's one of the programs. We're also doing, we do piano classes there. We have Michal Urban, who's a beautiful classical pianist, and he's teaching piano lessons at the building now.
Is that on your beautiful grand
Yes,
piano
it is.
that you have?
Yep. If
Awesome.
I took classes when I was a kid, and it was in a room lined with keyboards with the headphones on, and it wasn't that much fun. Learn the basics and move on. But part of what we want to do with this building, the Art Center and the gallery, is if you're going to come take a piano class, let's put you right in the middle of it. You're immersed. You're surrounded by sculptures and paintings, and you're sitting there on this beautiful grand piano, and that's where you're learning. That's where I'd rather learn. And that's kind of how we approach all this stuff is, if I was a kid, if I was an adult taking lessons, whatever it may be, how would I want to do it? What would make it the most amazing experience in the
Right.
world? Art classes and piano lessons and all that stuff, it can be seen as a luxury. Why would somebody spend their money on that? What makes that more important than a football? To be on the football team or the soccer team or something like that. We need to make it an experience. And even if they don't do it the rest of their lives, we've got a couple kids signed up right now, let's say age 10. That 10-year-old, when she's 20, she's still going to remember sitting in the middle of this, this art gallery, playing on this piano. And that's important. And at some point as an adult, she's going to look back and she's going to have a whole different respect for the arts
Right.
than she would have otherwise.
So how can viewers, how can they find more about your gallery?
We are all over social media.
Okay.
We hit social media very hard. But the first way I would say is come in. We're open 5 days a week right now, Tuesday through Saturday, 12 to 5. We will be expanding those hours shortly because of the classes are being booked on the other day. So it looks like we might be open 7 days a week. But then also our website, and currently that's www.aogallery.com. And at the end of the month, we're excited. We're announcing the launch of our new website.
Great.
It's being completely redone, making it user-friendly. It's going to be it's beautiful. I'm really excited about this new website, but that'll be the AtkinsonCollection.com.
Great. I know that I personally follow the Facebook page, so that's how I kind of keep up with all the exhibitions and classes that you have going on. So
that's great.
Yeah.
We pretty much post everything on there. You'll see videos. We're on YouTube. We're on Instagram. Not so much Twitter and Pinterest. I can't figure out, so we've avoided Pinterest.
Well, thank you, Joshua, for being here today, and thank you so much for joining us, and be sure to tune in next time for Spotlight on Bensenville.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.